Um, we're warming up. Okay, we have two S plus players here, so some of the top players in our rookie roundup for today. Oh, the room name is still outdated, but that's fine.
It's fine.
But they are just still here in spirit, cheering someone on. Okay, we have uh 9 wizard. I'm just gonna say wizard because that's what that looks like to me. Doing some openers, building up some nice back to back. We have some SCPC stick spin like things from 3CO. 9 Wizard has some very
Ooh.
nice surge
Ooh,
here and
ooh.
gets to extend that with some quite lucky garbage. And this is looking very rough for 9CO. Ooh, 9 Wizard doing a very nice job accepting some garbage here and then breaking out into a massive combo down stack. Wow, that was
That was
some
a very
exemplary gameplay.
spiky warm-up.
Yeah, that was very, very well played, I will say. Very, very principled, tanking the garbage with a big surge and then breaking with a big downstack combo. That's like exactly what you're meant to do optimally. That was very, very well played. This is going to be first to 5. I mean, it'll show near the top, but just so everyone's aware. So yeah, good luck and fun to both players. We do have another bag that allows for some stick-based openers, so we'll have to see if 9CO goes for something like that.
Ooh, the misdrop.
3Q,
Friku.
okay. So I'm too PCO pilled from the pronunciation, I guess. Apologies. Anyways, we had them trying to go for some stick-based opener, I think, but the misdrops didn't quite allow this. So now they're trying to salvage the stack, and they're doing so fairly nicely. But 9 Wizard is once again building up a pretty hefty surge advantage, and 3Q is gonna have to do something about that very soon. But these misdrops aren't really
Oh, that's
allowing
gonna
that.
be
Yeah,
fatal.
that is going to be fatal.
Seems Friku took just a little bit too long to try and open up the well there, and
Yeah,
just
very.
at the moment that spike was sent, that was it. Like,
Yeah,
there is nothing you can do anymore.
yeah. This opener by Nine Wizard is extremely interesting. Some very, very cheesy all-spin farming. Ooh, does
I mean, it
not
works
opt for.
quite well for the current
It does.
meta.
Yeah, no, it does. It is a pretty good opener. I don't think it's like it doesn't really allow for it doesn't really give you anything to defend with, but it is pretty good if you can just push the speed advantage and send some cheese while your opponent is setting up some heftier openers.
I'm
And
very much
ideally,
liking the way that let's say Wizard has been managing the stack at the
yeah,
top here.
sure. Yeah, some very nice down stacking, but the pressure from 3Q is just a bit too much because yeah, the sequence is not very kind, and while Nine was doing their best here, that was just a bit too rough. Right, 3Q actually manages to get their spick spin
Ooh.
off. And yeah, now we have some looping, and this is perhaps the downside of this very all spin
Oh,
heavy opener because okay, 3Q misdropped and was forced to break their loop here. But if that hadn't happened, Nine Wizard would have been in a very tough spot because they wouldn't have had really any material to defend with. Um, but yeah, because of the 3Q misdrop, we're now in a fairly neutral spot.
there's a nice transition from Friku there. Has applied a lot of pressure to Wizard.
Yeah,
If they don't actually get out of this,
yeah, they
what's
have
it?
to get to their wall here, which they managed to do, and they find a very
Oh,
nice combo down stack here and push
loving
3Q up
it.
the board. And that L misdrop is very rough, and there's no real recovery from that.
It's almost like a complete 180 from the position there.
Someone else in chat is suggesting that the pronunciation might be eco, which is also possible, but
Only if they're a dolphin.
uh, all right, we have another PC from the unpronounceable player on the left, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. But into another misjob, trying to fix something with all spins with moderate success, I'll say. And Nine Wizard just in a fairly neutral spot with a bit of lines garbage and downside, but not too much. Managed to get down, but
Ooh.
yeah,
They've
under
still got
some
it. They've still
pressure.
got it.
And that wall is they're gonna need an eyepiece to come soon. Oh, and that hold is going to be fatal with the IP skim
Yeah.
there, and then taking the IP skim and then taking the T there would have let them live, but tried a bit too much for the Tetris and just apparently didn't quite realize how much pressure was coming their way.
There is a non-zero chance I would have made the same misdrop.
Oh, no, yeah, no, this is, also a very, very normal thing to do on accident. Riku looking for the PC, does not find it, and instead just gets a single line of cheese on their board for their troubles.
Cool. So currently breaking their their
Yeah,
back-to-back chain to apply a
yeah,
little bit of pressure here.
yeah, and
However, the
Riku with
stack is
the
actually getting quite clean. They
yeah,
just need to. I would say if they're aiming for T-spins, they just kind of need to kind of like rebalance the parity between the
yeah,
two sides of the stack, like they have now. It's currently
yeah,
waiting on a T piece, and that T piece isn't going to come soon enough. So yes, they have correctly decided to head towards down stacking here, saving their life in the process.
yeah, that is came just in
Ooh,
time, but wow, Riku with some very, very good pressure here, not
yeah.
allowing Time Wizard to downstack enough. This seems like a very, very close match, which is nice. Ooh, we have some MS2 open by Triku. They seem to be very good on their theory, opting not to take the TSS for the
Ooh.
quad, which I think would be the better choice in that scenario. And Nine Wizards unable to keep their surge. It's kind of unfortunate. We have seen them build up some very, very nice surge in the warm up in the first round of the set, but we haven't really seen them manage to do this for the rest of the rounds. Possibly because of Rico applying some pressure, possibly because of missed drops, but that
Yeah,
might
they
be
seem to be
something.
trying to build pressure, like not build pressure, but like build back to back with all spins almost to a detriment.
Yeah.
They're spending a lot of
That's very
times
true.
just
Yeah.
like trying to find the next spin, even if it will do no damage.
Yeah. Which I mean is definitely not that bad if you're looking to improve. I think just trying to spend a bit more time looking for these spins is very good if you're just want to improve your vision in general. But of course, just sitting there and waiting for 10 seconds to find a spin that does one damage is maybe not the best if you want to immediately win this match right now. That said,
Uh,
Night Wizard in a slightly scary spot with no eyepiece in sight, but
Ooh,
it does arrive, and
lovely pressure opportunity coming up.
now they're in the spot to put some big pressure on Riku, but their wall is clean enough that they don't really mind the sense here and are also able to get out. And now we're once again in a fairly neutral spot. Riku some misdrops deals with it very cleanly though, so back to neutral again. Wizards turn to misdrop and to deal with it quite swiftly. Ooh, but the pressure is coming, and ooh, exact lethal here on Nine Wizard, and we're on match point for Riku.
They're just trying to analyze their stack there. It looked like they were trying to go for more all spins, but unfortunately they
Yeah,
ended up with a misdrop, so they got heavily punished for that.
that and of course, Riku. What I'm noticing is that when you actually, they are definitely able to put out some quite hefty pressure when you actually let them and give them time to build up their stack. They can be very fast and quite efficient when they have a clean well. So it's definitely something to keep in mind for an Eye Wizard that they should probably, I mean, ideally should be paying attention to their opponent's board and see if their opponent is in a clean stack. They should perhaps prioritize survival and trying to disrupt the clean stack rather than trying to go for some surge building and all spinning, which is more of a long
Ooh,
term thing to push your advantage.
speaking of all
That
spin,
yeah,
Riku
speaking of
actually
all
had an all spin opportunity to get out of that and didn't notice it.
yeah. I mean, seeing all spins is tough. This is like one thing I'm not very good at either. I've been trying, but it's not the
I,
best
I
on my end either.
I have noticed over time people have been getting more familiar with all spins, but
Oh, for
it's
sure,
like
yeah.
whether or not people find them, it seems to be kind of like a bit of a mixed bag, especially like depending on the playstyles.
Yeah, for
Ooh,
sure.
the eye misdrop from Wizard though is going to cause a little bit of messiness. It is solvable, but it's
Yeah.
definitely slowed
Ooh,
them down.
that eyepiece is very suspicious, I think, covering that while forcing a lot of skims and just wasting a lot of time. Another eye dependency. This is just yeah, puts them in
Uh,
quite
uh,
the scary spot, especially with Riku having being in a position to send a lot of pressure right now.
as
But
we've been saying to what's it, one of the mysterious players in the bracket that we've been coaching, just repeatedly bashing into their heads, don't block the hole.
yeah, It's of course easier said than done, but and sometimes it's the correct thing to do. But yeah, it's definitely a very good principle to hold on to that you really don't want to, especially you don't want to like put an eyepiece over a hole. Like you want to try and be mindful when you, because a thing people will commonly do, which is usually not so bad, is so when you don't really have space for an eyepiece, you just kind of throw it off to the side. And like that's a fine thing to do in general. That's like it's not great. You don't want to like waste eyes, but it's fine. But when you have a well like under the place where you want to throw the eyepiece, that's can suddenly go from fine to extremely bad because it means you have to skim 4 lines. Um, and you just threw an eyepiece to the side, so you're like it's a lot more difficult to also shape your stack to make it do anything. So it happens a lot of the time is that you just are forced to skim 3 or 4 lines while your opponent just gets to do whatever. And if you're in a spot where you really want to downstack, or if you're in a spot where the opponent sends a big spike, you can get punished very harshly for that. Anyway, back to the match. We
Ooh.
have 9 Wizard in a fairly precarious spot. Once again, that T piece just, yeah, that one T Mino remaining there is kind of awkward to downstack through. This kind of forces them to go into some more awkward skims here. There is a downstack here, which they do kind of fine, but they're not
They're
out.
managing.
They're managing, but yeah, that
Oh,
is just a bit too much to get out.
so we have a winner from the knife, well, at least like not the entire knife bracket, but at least from the match that we have commentated of
Yeah.
Freaku. I actually think it was pretty, like I say, pretty decent
Oh
play
yeah.
from both players.
Oh yeah. No,
Like
absolutely.
I was saying, you got the kind of the interaction of two different play styles here, where
Yeah.
it's like Freaku had a decent opener game, but at the same time, Wizard also has incredible like what's it all spin knowledge.
Yeah.
So if left unattended, they will just
Yeah.
keep building up the what's it
Yeah.
keep building up the surge until it
Yeah.
becomes unbearable.
I definitely think there's definitely some very, very high, like some high level core foundations are definitely there for both players already. I think 3Q was able to send some very strong pressure in a lot of these games when left unattended. Was very good, which Nine Wizard wasn't really able to get through in a lot of these rounds. And we saw some very good all-spin knowledge from Nine Wizard and some very good surge building. I mean, of course, we had a bunch of missed drops. Like a lot of the minor stacking decisions still weren't there, but like who can like do all the make all the correct minor stacking decisions anyways? Like it's like 20 players who can actually like stack well, and I don't think I'm one of them. So it's not an
I
easy
mean,
game. But yeah, I think there's definitely some very strong foundations that I think if both of these players build on, they could definitely push quite a lot higher, which would unfortunately mean we probably don't see them so often in rookie roundup, but they get to graduate to TAWs or something else. So